Imagine the last time you took a hot shower or soaked in a warm bath. That moment of peace, the steam rising, the world washing away. It feels so personal, so private. Yet this simple act is the final chapter in a story thousands of years in the making, a story of empires, plagues, gods, and revolutions. This is the history of bathing. Today, we see bathing as simple cleaning. But for most of human history, it was so much more. It was a sacred rite, a public spectacle, a doctor's prescription, and a political tool. Its story begins not with soap, but with water itself, rivers, lakes, and oceans. These were humanity's first bathtubs, places not just for rinsing off dirt, but for spiritual purification, a concept as old as religion itself. The first hint of a purpose-built structure for bathing comes from the ancient Indus Valley civilization. Nearly 5,000 years ago, in the city of Mohenjo-Daro, they built the Great Bath. This wasn't a private tub. It was a massive brick-lined pool sealed with bitumen. Scholars believe it was used for religious rituals, a place where people cleansed their souls before their gods. From this single ancient pool, an idea began to flow across the world. That water, contained and controlled, held a special power. Nowhere did this idea flourish more than in ancient Rome. For the Romans, bathing wasn't a chore done at home. It was the heart of daily life. They engineered grand public bathhouses called *thermae, architectural marvels that were more like community centers than simple washrooms. Think of them as the social media of the ancient world. Here, you could conduct business, debate politics, exercise, read scrolls in the library, and of course, get clean. The Roman bathing ritual was a sophisticated sequence. You'd start in the frigidarium, a cold plunge pool to invigorate the senses. Then, you moved to the tepidarium, a warm room to relax and socialize, often getting a massage with scented oils. Finally, you entered the caldarium, the hot room, a steamy, sauna-like space with a pool of hot water to open your pores and sweat out impurities. You would then scrape your skin clean with a metal tool called a strigil. All of this was made possible by incredible engineering. A vast network of aqueducts, those iconic stone bridges, carried fresh water from distant hills into the heart of the city, feeding the massive baths. Beneath the marble floors, an ingenious heating system called a hypocaust circulated hot air from a furnace. Warming the water in the rooms above, the Romans didn't just build baths, they built an entire culture around them, a culture of public health, leisure, and social connection. But empires fall, and as Rome crumbled, so did its aqueducts. The magnificent thermae fell into disrepair, their furnaces cold, their pools dry. The intricate knowledge of hydraulic engineering was lost for centuries. As Europe entered the Middle Ages, the culture of bathing underwent a dramatic change. Early on, communal bathing did continue in smaller, simpler bathhouses, but attitudes were shifting. The church grew suspicious of these public spaces, viewing them as dens of immorality and promiscuity. Bathing became associated less with health and more with worldly temptation. Then came a catastrophe that would make Europe terrified of water itself, the Black Death. In the mid-14th century, the plague swept across the continent, wiping out a huge portion of the population. Doctors and scholars, desperate for an explanation, developed a terrifying theory. They believed that water, especially hot water, opened the pores of the skin, creating doorways for pestilential vapors and disease to enter the body. Cleanliness was redefined. A thick layer of dirt and sweat was seen as a protective shield against illness. Perfumes and powders were used to mask body odor, and people changed their linen undergarments frequently, believing the clean cloth would absorb the grime from their skin. For the next few hundred years, full-body immersion in water became a rare and often feared event. This era of water phobia led to the period we now call the Great Unwashed. It wasn't until the 18th and 19th centuries that the tide began to turn again. Cities grew, but sanitation didn't keep pace. Industrial London and Paris were crowded, filthy places where diseases like cholera and typhoid ran rampant. A new generation of thinkers and scientists began to connect filth with disease. The breakthrough came with the work of pioneers like Louis Pasteur, who developed germ theory, proving that invisible microorganisms were the real cause of many illnesses. Suddenly, hygiene wasn't just about looking or smelling good. It was a matter of life and death. Public health reformers campaigned for clean water, sewer systems, and public baths for the working poor. The rain bath, an early form of the shower, invented for use in army barracks and prisons, was championed as a quick, efficient, and hygienic way to wash large numbers of people without them having to share contaminated tub water. For the wealthy Victorians, this new obsession with cleanliness merged with their love for technology and privacy. The bathroom as we know it began to take shape. For the first time, a room was dedicated solely to personal hygiene, hidden away from public view. Toilets moved indoors, and permanent bathtubs, made of tin or cast iron, were installed, complete with dedicated plumbing for hot and cold running water. This was a revolution. The act of bathing retreated from the public square and moved behind a locked door. From this point, the evolution was rapid. The 20th century saw the bathroom become a standard feature in every middle-class home. Technology made it more comfortable and convenient. We got efficient water heaters, enameled steel tubs, fiberglass showers, and an endless variety of soaps, shampoos, and bath oils. Bathing became a deeply personal ritual, a moment of solitude and self-care in a busy world. And so, our story comes full circle. The journey began in a vast public spiritual pool and ends in the quiet solitude of our own private bathrooms. Yet, echoes of the past remain. When we visit a modern spa with its sequence of saunas, steam rooms, and plunge pools, we are unknowingly reenacting the rituals of the Roman thermi. The very act of taking a long, relaxing bath to distress is a continuation of an ancient belief in the healing, restorative power of water. What was once a public institution has become a private sanctuary. What was once dictated by priests and doctors is now a matter of personal choice. The next time you turn on the tap, remember the centuries of history flowing through those pipes. You're not just washing, you're taking part in one of humanity's oldest and most enduring rituals. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of things. If you enjoyed this story and want to uncover more hidden histories, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.